Hi team, in our last lesson, we looked at the birth of the Roman Republic. And in our bonus History Through Art lesson, we explored the story of Lucius Junius Brutus, one of the first consuls, whose job it was to protect that republic. Brutus, as we saw, was forced to condemn his own sons to death when they committed treason by trying to bring back the King of Rome. The story of Rome's founding as a republic is as dramatic as the founding of the American Republic. But even though the Roman Republic was saved in its infancy, it had more tests to endure, and it still needed to improve. As we will see over the next few lessons, not everything was fair in Rome, just like not everything was fair in early America. In Rome, the problem was the same as it was in Greece. In our Anchor Facts series of printables and mini lessons on Greece, which are available in full on Knowable World website, we saw that the commoners of Athens could be enslaved by the aristocracy. If they ran out of food and they had to borrow from the rich landowners and rulers, they could end up in debt slavery. Rome also had this problem, but in Rome, the commoners had a special trick up their sleeves. It was called secession. We saw this word in our American History Anchor Facts series too. When the southern states seceded from the Union, they triggered the American Civil War. To secede means to leave a group or organization or country. When the plebeians seceded from Rome the first time, it was because of debt slavery. It meant simply that they refused to live in the city anymore, and that they were going to create a new separate community. This would mean that the city would collapse because most of its people would be gone. So the aristocracy agreed to create a new government office called the tribunate. It had two officials in it called tribunes. The job of the tribunes was simple: to stop the abuse of power by the government against the commoners. The closest thing we have to tribunes in modern times are lawyers. When a citizen says to the government, "I want to talk to my lawyer," the government has to stop questioning them and let the lawyer defend the citizen. When a tribune told a government official, even a consul, to stop, he had to stop. A commoner could go to the home of the tribune and would be allowed in so that he would be safe from attack. Then the tribune would have to negotiate to understand the situation and decide what to do. That didn't mean that you could commit a crime and be protected by the tribune. It meant that if you followed the law, the tribune would protect you, even from the power of the government. But what were the laws? And how could you know them? If you study history at Knowable World, you learn about the Bill of Rights and the basic laws that protect Americans. You need to know these laws and others when you are deciding how to act, especially if you are arrested by the police. The same was true in Rome. But they were not written down until the commoners seceded a second time and demanded it. The result was the laws of the 12 tables. This was the name of the Roman Constitution. The 12 tables were stone tablets with the laws written on them. They were placed in a public square for all to see. You could read them and know them. You could discuss them and argue about them. You could even try to have them changed. This is an important way for people to be free. You can't always know if a law is right. People make them, and people make mistakes. If a law is wrong, then having it written down and put on public display is the best way for it to be changed. So by seceding, the commoners got important changes that helped protect their rights and make the Roman Republic more secure. We'll learn about a couple of the most important changes in the next mini lesson. See you then.